Move from over here.
A little bit, yeah. I'll ask you one. I know you've studied them before this year. Are they running Ellinger as much goal line, short yardage as they have in the past?
I don't. I think they're gonna. It's been kind of as they needed to. Obviously, you saw against LSU, where that was a game they probably felt like they had to win to be competitive for the national championship race, and they were obviously running him then. So
They put a lot on him, though.
they do, but he's a good player. He's as advertised. So yeah, he does a great job. One thing we actually had a little chance to catch our breath, and I actually watched a couple of NFL games a little bit, and so you watch him, then you watch the NFL guys throwing those RPOs and stuff, and you could have been watching a guy playing for any of the NFL teams. So he's that good. So and the guys they're throwing it to are probably like that too. So.
Offensively, in terms of their receivers, Divinay has obviously put up big numbers. Do they have other
Well,
options?
they do, and the kid, and I was just, my brain's on something else right now, but they got a guy I think they're expecting to come back that's been hurt. Yeah. Six has really been their go-to guy, and then 16's come in, so that spot's kind of been they're a little bit of their honey hole right there, that and the big tall kid over to the boundary. But that's not unlike a lot of what we call open teams. Our terminology is an open set. They've got two backs, three wides. Number two and number one of the boundary are typically, and then the outside guy of the field's the guy that's 10-5, 10-4, whatever, faster 100 meters, it's going to run the post. So that's who they are, yeah. And a lot of the passes, are bubbles, screen variety stuff off of play action or off the RPO action in the backfield. So there's a good number. I didn't count the number of screens that they've thrown, but there's a pretty good size cut up of that.
Is your big concern when you try to go after Ellinger is not getting him down because he's bigger?
Well, y'all saw what happened in Missouri, so watch that film. Guys at Troy have been texting me. They play Missouri this week, and I said, well, all you got to do is watch the film. And to me, it's the same type of guy. Maybe can throw a little bit better. So we got our work cut out for us. So he's 235. It's similar. It's a real similar type of guy. So we got to play a lot better than we have. Still not at all satisfied with the performance at KU, which was the last game we've played, and we actually played really well until we gave up that post, which was almost gave me a Prilosec moment where we exploded. We had a post player, so play the post, and there's not much schematically, bless you, that you can do for that. You got a guy who's just got to do what he's supposed to do. And then that last drive, we didn't against KU, we didn't put our foot on the throat anywhere like we need to, and we played some guys that went in there and didn't play hard as they need to, and there was a lot of reason to be upset with our performance that last part of the fourth quarter. They were at under 200 yards going into that until that 75-yarder, and then we just kind of let everything go, and that's not who we want to be. So that's been addressed pretty hard.
Vic, is that related, do you think, a little bit?
Excuse me?
Do you think that's a little bit related, like making the mistake on that long play and just trying not to make a mistake on the subsequent?
No, I think it's trying to do somebody else's job. That is an epidemic here, and it's not here, but we were just watching some cut-ups before I came in here of other teams' guys wanting to go make every tackle instead of doing their job and keeping their angle. So it's an epidemic where everybody wants to make every play because then they can sit there and stand up in front of the camera and do all this stuff. And parade and hit their chest and run out there and do gyrations. You know, we got to get back, and I wish we could not have gone there in the first place, but it's out of the bag. We need to do our job and be happy that we do our job, and if somebody else makes a tackle because we played cutback, then that's the right thing. And that's an ongoing, everyday, several times a day deal. And so we just got to keep coaching that for guys to understand their fits and guys do their job. The post player who was supposed to be in the post was trying to go get the dig, but he didn't see that the corner had the dig just fine because that's what it was supposed to do. So that just going back to that play. Everybody tries to do somebody else's job. There was other plays in that where we had guys not really playing their leverage because they were trying to go get a pick because they were eyeballing where the quarterback was looking. So that's an everyday challenge for us. It's been a challenge for several years, but it's really something that we address every day in practice. We got to do our job, and everybody else will do their job, and then we'll be fine. That's going to be really important this week because when you're playing guys as talented as the guys we're playing, if somebody comes in at a bad angle or has their head ducked or eyes closed, you know, we gave up a touchdown against KU when free safety didn't do his job. So, you know, it's just, you know, we got to do our jobs better. And each guy, if you get them better, then the whole team gets better.
What does Van Darius Count potentially give you with the Bandit, not just this game, but moving forward?
I don't know. I think we don't know yet. So, I mean, I wish I could answer that. We obviously don't know yet what he does best. I think he's got some football instincts. So, you know, sometimes it's important to have a guy that's just got some really good instincts that can fit. So guys, for example, if I'm fitting off a lineman, I just don't run up the lineman's tail end. I fit the gap. But, you know, too many times guys will just go run up that guy's butt, and then the gap's wide open. So I think he's got some good natural feel. I think he's got some pretty good vision. It's you know, he's going to be his first game in a long time. So we'll see. We'll see how he plays. I don't know, you know, reps and this and that. I don't think anybody really knows yet. We'll just kind of have to play that by ear.
You have the two senior corners. How do you feel about the guys behind them?
Well, I think we're trying to get these freshmen ready to play feverishly at a lot of positions on defense, and the only way they're going to get better is to play. I know Coach Brown's been specifically on me, you know, to play Ty Key more. Carey's played a good bit. You know, I know their rep count, but that's for me to know, and y'all can go dig that up. You know, those guys are coming along and they're progressing, and we got to continue to get them better. And that's the only way they're going to get better is to get experience. And sometimes when you have game experience, I think when you look in the dictionary about what experience is, it's making a mistake and learning from it. If that's the definition in the Webster's, you know, dictionary, I wouldn't be surprised. So, you know, that's what it is. So we have to learn from it, and hopefully we make those mistakes in practice and learn from it, and it's not in the game where it cost us a game or touchdowns like it did last week or 2 weeks ago.
How much better is the Heike Bailey you have now than the one you inherited this spring?
The what?
Bailey, how much better is he than the cornerback you inherited this spring? And what?
Well, I think Coach Adai has done a miraculous job with the corners. They're doing things way better than even back in two-a-days. We have progressed, you know, really well. Now there's an old saying about you pat someone on the butt and you don't know what you're going to get in your hand. We want to continue to challenge these guys every day because we're not world beaters now, not yet. So that's what we're coaching them to be, and you know, I think they're getting coached hard. They're getting coached with love, and we got a long, long, long way to go before we can sit there and say we've arrived. So.
Herman was asked yesterday about the crowd, and he mentioned specifically West Virginia being a difficult place. You've coached a long time. Can you use that as a defensive coach, the crowd noise and the electricity?
Well, yeah,
How do you do
it
that?
doesn't hurt now. It definitely doesn't
You
hurt.
got an experienced quarterback. And
They do, and they've been in a lot of. It isn't like it's his first rodeo, you know. I mean, he's using these good Texas terms now. I'm sure he's ridden some broncs before. I think that I think that's not going to bother him. I think they've been in Oklahoma. That, you know, next week they're going to the Red River rivalry deal. They've been through that. You don't get much louder than that. Take nothing away from our stadium fans.
could it help your kids though?
I think what it'll do for our guys will just, if they play, and I have to clean it up a little bit, if they play with a high motor and play as hard as we can, and we legally try to hit everything that moves, and we try to keep balls in front of us and not give up big plays, and then play our style of defense, which is attacking, which is stopping what they do best, which is getting a bunch of hats to the ball and then trying to create takeaways. If we'll do that, then that's the best we can do. And, you know, we'll all be happy and we'll be fine. I mean, if we do the best we can do, then here's the deal. The best we can do is better than what we've shown. Truly believe our guys have not even gotten close to doing as good as they can do. We have got a lot of execution issues we still have to clean up. We're going to have to tackle this quarterback. We practice, you know, Coach Leslie started practicing a different type of tackling stuff last week. So it's, you know, we're going to do everything we can to be successful, trust me. If our guys will just keep buying in and do what they're supposed to do, we got a chance in any game.
Where have you seen Vandarius maybe grow the most off the field?
Well, he's still here, so that's a big positive. And I'm not saying that sarcastically or anything against him. You know, he's had to be persistent and not give up. And you know, I think it was Calvin Coolidge has got a saying about persistence. So you know, I'm not affluent enough to where I can sit there and recite it, but as long as you show up to work every day and you ain't quit, then you ain't beat. So.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Good. All right.